Fear, it coils in your gut like a serpent, tightening its grasp every time you wait to act. I see it in every student who walks into my dojo, that silent opponent whispering, "You cannot," yet your spirit cries, "You must." Listen carefully, my buddy, for what I'm about to say isn't simply philosophy. It is warrior wisdom, refined by fight and tested throughout time. Today, I'll show you how to change this frightening serpent into a powerful dragon that propels you ahead. Are you ready to start this journey? The majority of people misunderstand fear. They seek to eradicate, destroy, and push it away. However, attempting to break a rock with your fist can only result in self-injury. Instead, observe how water interacts with rocks. Water doesn't fight. It flows and adjusts. Nonetheless, in time, it carves through the hardest stone. During my years of martial training, I learned that fear is like an opponent in the ring. The more you resist, the more energy you lose. The more you strain yourself, the harder it hits. But when you learn to dance with your fear and comprehend its rhythm and core, everything changes. Consider the last time terror seized you, perhaps before a key milestone in your life. Did you feel your heart racing? Is your breath shortening? Good. These are not weaknesses, my buddy. They are your body's way of preparing you for greatness. Similarly, a fighter's heightened senses prior to combat indicate his power rather than his vulnerability. I tell my students that they should not be victims of their worries. Be its master. Allow your fear to guide you into paths you never thought existed. Just weigh water flowing over pebbles in a stream. This is the first step toward the art of living fearlessly. Now look at the bamboo in the midst of a violent storm. While giant oaks fight and break, bamboo bends with the wind, touching the ground but not breaking, and then shoots back stronger than before. This is not a weakness. This is actual power, the strength of adaptation. Your thinking must become like bamboo. I found this reality not in moments of ease, but in the crucible of intense training, when your muscles burn, when your lungs cry for oxygen, when every fiber in your body says, stop. Here is where you find your true strength. This is where you learn how to overcome fear. Allow me to demonstrate a tactic I utilize when dread emerges. Don't fight it. Instead, be like bamboo. Accept the pressure. Bend with it. Take 3 slow breaths. On each breath, consider your fear as energy, moving through you rather than against you. This is not just a meditation, my friend. This is how the warrior transforms dread into concentrated force. Remember, the stiff tree breaks, but the bamboo dances with the wind and endures. Your fears are the storm. Learn to dance beside them. When I initially started teaching in America, many individuals questioned my methods. They said that a man my size couldn't teach well, that my thoughts were extremely radical, too different. But I knew something that others didn't. An empty cup has the greatest potential for being filled. This takes me to the final lesson. Imagine your mind as a cup of tea, full of preconceptions, past fears, and constraints imposed by others. How can you add anything new if your cup is already full? You cannot. You must first drain your cup. I did not establish Jeet Kune Do by adhering to ancient practices. I emptied my cup. I erased everything that was unneeded, all of which originated from a fear of breaking tradition. And what left was the truth, pure, simple, and powerful. This is what I mean by living fearlessly. It is not the absence of fear, but the absence of the limits you impose on yourself because of fear. You must burst away from the vessel that surrounds you, just as water does. Your potential is boundless, my friend, but only if you have the strength to empty your cup and flow like water. The time for simple philosophy is past. Now you must take action. Take all I've shown you, the wisdom of water, the strength of bamboo, and the force of emptiness, and apply it to your life. Not tomorrow, not when you feel prepared. Now, remember this, fear lives purely in our minds. But what about courage? Courage manifests itself through our deeds. Every step you take toward your fear decreases its influence over you. And one day, you'll look back and grin, knowing that what appeared like an impassable wall was actually a door waiting to be opened. My friend, become like water. Flow courageously. Break free. All avenues ultimately lead to self-knowledge. And self-knowledge uncovers the ultimate truth. There was never anything to fear.